All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a great day. Once again, before we get into this video, if you enjoy it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I think it's like 30-degree winds, right? 30-degree winds, 30-mile-per-hour winds right now. So if you ever hear, you might be able to hear it. I don't think so, but new idea, new video idea, new concept. We're going to be doing just possible trades because the trade deadline's in 6-7 days. Can't really be doing this past the trade deadline, so might as well just do as many trade rumor, possible trade hypothetical videos as we can. This first one's pretty interesting because there's just no way it will happen. Basically, I asked my dudes on Discord and Twitter. If you want to follow my Twitter, if you want to join our Discord, the link's in the bio. But basically, this first one's way too far-fetched. There's just no way this trade happens. It's Terry Rozier and PJ Washington for Ben McLemore, Victor Oladipo, and 2 second-round picks. Maybe if it was like 2 first-round picks, then they possibly would do that deal then. Terry Rozier, he's got 2 years left, $19 million. That's not so much of what makes this trade kind of ridiculous. It's more of PJ Washington. I don't see the Hornets moving away from PJ in just his second year. I mean, this dude he's so versatile. He's so he just has a lot of different he can play defense, he can shoot the ball, very, very versatile player, and he's very young. So I just think for that reason they would not do this trade. I'm sure they would possibly be open to a Terry Rozier trade. If you were to give them an offer, they wouldn't refuse. By no means would I assume he is untouchable, but they've got a whole bunch of guards over there in Charlotte, and it's actually really fun to watch. So for a couple of reasons, this trade's a little ridiculous. This next one's interesting, but I don't really know why it would happen. LaMarcus Aldridge and Devin Vassell for Victor Oladipo. I don't think we even really need to discuss this trade because there's no way this trade happens. I mean, you're pretty much just giving up rental for rental. We don't need LaMarcus. I think what would happen actually if they did this trade is I think we would just buy LaMarcus out. And I think in order for this trade to happen is there would need to be first-round picks. And the thing is both teams are trying to milk as much value from each player. So you can't really, this trading away LaMarcus and Vic, it just can't. I don't really see a way that this could be beneficial for either team. But Stone could always work something out. We never know. I mean, I'll give Stone his creative credit because that trade with PJ Tucker, I mean, it's not like anybody could have ever predicted that. It's unbelievable. This next trade, a little bit more realistic here. Victor Oladipo, Daniel House Jr., and a second-round pick. I believe this is actually from Gamer. Yeah, this is from Gamer. For Andrew Wiggins and a 2021 first-round pick. The only downside I have with Andrew Wiggins is that his contract is essentially $30 million for the next 3 years. However, we do need a small forward. Also, we get their first-round pick in this upcoming draft, which is interesting, man, because what I think this trade's so interesting because somehow if we were to swing this, we were to get Minnesota's first-round pick and Andrew Wiggins, and we were able to somehow be a top 4, bottom 4 team in the league and get our top 4 protected pick. If we were able to somehow do this, all the draft picks we have, we could definitely, I see no reason we could not trade up to the number 1 pick, even just as it is right now. But this trade would be unbelievable. I don't think any Rockets fans would be upset about this. We do have to start thinking about the small forward position moving forward because it's not Daniel House. That's not the answer. He is really cheap, but I think personally a little bit more of a bench guy. Kawhi Leonard's a free agency, and I think it's a little far-fetched, but I guess you never know. A couple cool small forwards in free agency that we could target, that I want us to target, are Duncan Robinson, although he's reportedly wanting $20 million a year, and Kelly Oubre Jr. I think those two dudes could really help us out, but Andrew Wiggins, defensively, man, he has been doing very, very, very well. So this next trade, another gamer trade, Victor Oladipo for Danny Green, Tyrese Maxey, and a 2021 second-round pick. This is another one of those trades that I just don't see it happening. I guess it makes sense salary-wise, but I don't see it happening. I don't think that they want Victor Oladipo. I don't know why they don't want Victor Oladipo, but if they weren't willing to give up Tyrese Maxey for James Harden, I don't think they'd be willing to give up Tyrese Maxey for Victor Oladipo. So this is the last trade we'll do. You guys can leave some comments on trades you want me to talk about. I'll probably do this every day until the trade deadline, just because it's a little fun. It's kind of like a mailbag for trade rumors, possible trade hypotheticals. And once we get more news about Victor Oladipo, we'll definitely talk about that. But this next one's with the Nuggets, so it's basically just Victor Oladipo for Gary Harris and RJ Hampton. This would be a very interesting trade because Gary Harris defensively is very good. We could use more defensive help on the key. RJ Hampton would be cool because he's young and he's very cheap. I mean, I think he's on a rookie contract, I want to say. 4 years. He's got like 4 years left, $2 million. This would just be cool. It would be very cool. But Gary Harris, $19 million in 2 years for the next 2 years. So that's what would probably steer me away from this trade, because if we have to pay Eric Gordon $16 million a year and Gary Harris $19 million a year from next year, it's just something I don't necessarily want to do. I don't know where Victor Oladipo is going to be going. I know I'll get some comments about it, so I will talk about it. But I would have to guess the Miami Heat. I would just have to guess the Miami Heat. But P.J. Tucker, I really thought it was the Sixers. I made a whole video. I don't call many trades. That might have been one of the first trades I've ever called. And I was dead wrong. I was so wrong. P.J. Tucker on the Sixers makes so much sense to me. It just made so much sense. But he makes sense on the Bucks. P.J. Tucker really just kind of makes sense on most teams. Victor Oladipo, I would guess the Heat, because I definitely think they could give us Precious and a pick and a salary filler, and I think we could get a trade done. I know Stone's going to be working on some creative, different strategies, different possible trades, but different packages. I think the Knicks are a sleeper. I could definitely see the Knicks making a move at this, just because, man, they're pretty good this year. They got a good defense. They actually could make a decent run in the playoffs. And it's just either way, no matter what happens, I'm not here to say the Knicks are going to win it all, but I am here to say that playoff experience is very important. I'm rooting for the Chicago Bulls to make the playoffs, because that's a very important experience to have, man, moving on into the season. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. I'll see you guys later.